The new ASDA Essentials, let's try it. Okay, so a disclaimer before I start, because you know this has to be said. I have only picked the like snacks things just because I want to keep the main like meal type items, like you know, like the meats, pastas, stuff like that, just for the families who like really need them. The things that I've picked today is like the boxes in the shop are completely full. I'm gonna be reviewing the snacky stuff today, and stuff that I would personally go buy myself again, just because I'm a big snack person. So I got about 7 things to try today, and I'm gonna show you, and we're gonna say what the prices are. And you know, some of them are even cheaper. I knew it was going to be cheap, because that's like the whole point of the range. But I didn't think some of the things that were going to be as cheap as they were going to be. So I've decided we're going to start with this more savoury stuff I picked up first, just because I am a big lover of sweet stuff. So I think we're going to save the best till last. So I've got 4 things that are savoury, 3 things that are sweet, and I've written down all of the prices of the stuff. I just took a look on ASDA's website, and you know, there is literally so much. Like I just looked now, and you can actually get like a full-on beef roast dinner for 4 for like £13. That's like, it comes in like this whole little meal set like that. It's amazing to me how ASDA doing this. Anyway, we're going to start with a scone, I think, and these I think are the main thing that kind of shocked me for the price wise. So they look like this in the package, just your normal scone, you know, nothing special. Let me tell you, the price of those, 49p, right? You're getting 10 scones for 49p, which basically means what, like 5p per scone? How is that possible? That is like saying if you had one for like breakfast, that's a whole week and a half of breakfast sorted. But I have buttered one up, so I like mine with butter, and we're going to give it a try. This is what they look like unbuttered. They are very like uneven. They're not perfectly round, you know, but we can't be picky around here. But they just look like this. Still cute. They are also kind of small, like compared to my hand. But I mean, isn't there a whole thing where like your portion size should fit in the like palm of your hand? Your portion size should fit in like the palm of your hand. I swear that's a thing, or that might just be a steak thing. I don't know. But we're gonna try this with the butter on. I do love a good scone, but I don't really like ones with like the raisin sultanas in. I am a plain scone person, but anyway. You know, they're very what's the word? They're very dense, very thick for what they are. I'm actually really impressed, you know. 49p, right? And like we see in this thickness, that's pretty good, and they taste like any other scone I've ever had before. There's nothing like, I don't say they taste like lower quality or anything because of the price or anything, but they actually taste really good. Okay, so next little snacky thing that I got is a little bit of a controversial thing. So I feel like you either love them or you hate them. So I got some pork pies. You get 6 in here, and these were pork pies, £1.60. So these were the most expensive thing in this little shopping that I got. But they look normal, you know. They're pretty good size. So I think I'm gonna open these up and give them a go. So then this is now what they look like. You can kind of see the hole where they've filled it up in, which is quite funny. But with these, my what do you call it? My prediction is they're not going to be all the way full. I have had like cheaper ones before, because usually when we buy pork pies normally we just get the cheap ones anyway. So I'm going to assume that these are going to have like a little ball of meat in the middle, and then like the top part is just going to be pastry. That's what I'm going to say, but I'm going to bite and we'll see what happens. And you know what? I tell lies. Look at that. Like usually the gap's a little bit bigger, but that's a really small gap compared to what I've seen before. I will say they don't taste very strong. So if you do like a pork pie but you don't like the meat being the main centre of attention, these don't taste too bad. Like, they're quite light, I guess you could say, but the pastry's really good, and like I actually have nothing else to say about it. It's just alright. I am surprised about the filling though, because that's pretty good. Like it is filled from side to side. Like that's pretty good going. Okay, next. Now I got some potato pops, I believe. I got them in a little glass jar. Like, I got them in a little glass jar that looks like this. Very cute. But these were 72p, and there's quite a good family size bag of these. I've only got a few because my sister is currently devouring the rest of the bag. I have no idea, but this is what they look like. They're just little balls of potato. You know, I really like these. If I go into a restaurant and they are selling this kind of like thing, like potato cubes or whatever they call them there, immediately adds to the menu of mine, you know, like immediately I will have them. But let's give this little one a go. You need a sauce. Definitely very dry by themselves. Again, they are just potatoes, so what would I expect? But I would definitely say you need a sauce with them. But they're okay. I mean, have a good handful of them, it'll keep you going for whatever meal you decide to have. But you definitely need a sauce, you know. I don't have much more to say about them. They're just little balls of potato, which are quite cute. And just a little bit dry. Okay, so lastly in the savoury, I think these are savoury, I'm not sure, section, we are going for crisps. Now, they did have quite a few different types of crisps that you can get, but only in my ASDA they had the variety pack, which is fine. So we've got 2 ready salted, 2 salt and vinegar, and 2 cheese and onion. Now, I am quite a boring person when it comes to crisps. Like, I do like a normal ready salted bag, I can't lie. The other flavours don't really appeal to me so much. They are more likely for the rest of my family, but we're gonna try the ready salted ones. I've tried a lot of cheap crisps in my time, and sometimes some of them are really rock hard, or sometimes they've got barely any salt. So we shall see what these are like. They just look like your average normal crisps. Okay, I'm really confused about these. There's something about them that kind of taste like washing up liquid. But it's only like when I go to swallow it. I don't know if anyone else ever has this, but like sometimes when you go to swallow something you just get a different taste. When I go to swallow these, it's giving me washing up liquid taste, and I'm not quite sure. They're definitely not very salty either. I feel like they are more of just plain crisp, which is fine because ready salted is probably the most plainest flavour, but they're not. It's probably my least favourite thing I've had right now. They're not really great, but the price of them was, they are 90p for the 6. So you're paying about 15p per pack. I mean, they're okay. So now we're going to get on to my favourite little part. I am a huge sweet person. I have probably the biggest sweet tooth ever, and I think I get that from my granddad. Like, I just love sweet stuff. Like, go to a restaurant, my favourite meal is going to be dessert every time I look at the dessert menu. Before I even look at the main menu, it is honestly probably a problem, but here we are. So I only managed to get 3 things really, because I really wanted the cookies, but I could not find them anywhere. I don't know if they were sold out or if they're just not available in my ASDA yet, but could not find them. So I've only got 3 things, and 2 of them are basically the same, but whatever. So we've got 3 strawberry cheesecakes, and these were £1. And then I got 2 chocolate bars. These were 33p each. So we've got a milk chocolate and a white chocolate, which is new apparently. And I think we're going to start with the chocolate bars, just because I am a massive cheesecake fan and I know how I like my cheesecakes. So we're going to save that one. So we're going to save that to the last, but we're going to try these first. Now, white chocolate I feel like is quite controversial, because you either like it or you don't. Same with dark chocolate. Like, I don't like dark chocolate, but I love white chocolate, and some people might be the opposite way around. White chocolate is good for me. Like, I grew up on, is it Milky Bars, Milky Ways, something like that, one of those. Loved it. No strong smell yet. Okay, cool. They are quite soft because it is really hot in my room right now. We're not even in a heat wave and it's still completely boiling. Like, it's 22 I think right now, and I'm still sweating. Like, this is not fun. Well, it looks like this is just, I got a little chunk. Looks like that's got a little star pattern on the top. Let's have a look. That's really good. That's probably some of the best white chocolate I've had in a good while. It tastes exactly like, I think it's Milky Way. If it's not, just that we just don't comment on the fact. But, you know, the little chocolate bars you used to have when you were a kid. It tastes exactly like that. And it's 33p. 33p for a full-on bar. Like, you're seeing this compared to my hand. It's a full-on bar, 33p, and it tastes really good. Like, that is at 10 out of 10. Now this one, the milk chocolate one. Now I feel like we all know what cheap chocolate tastes like. Especially milk chocolate. Like, sometimes you have those Easter eggs or something and it's made out of that cheap chocolate and you know the taste. So we're going to see what this is like. This is the exact, so it's got a little star pattern on top. You can see that one a little bit better. Okay, strange. That is interesting. Doesn't taste like cheap chocolate, so you can send that one out the window. Kind of tastes like it's got some kind of alcohol in it. It's got some kind of weird twang to it. I'm not quite sure how to explain. There's something different in it. I'm trying to read the ingredients, see if there's anything that will tell me anything, but I have no idea what any of that means. It's good. I mean, it's good. Yeah, I will continue to eat this, but it's just got something weird. Nothing, like, no other chocolate bar I can compare it to, you know? I can't think of something else that tastes like that. But it's not cheap chocolate taste, so, I mean, definitely worth it. If you go past and you see it, pick one up and tell me what you think that taste is, because it's very interesting. But we're going to finish with the cheesecakes now. You know, very happy and smiley for these, because I do like a good cheesecake. The cheesecakes were, let me have a look. These are £1 think they were £1. I'm looking around like I've written something else somewhere else. I have not. And so what they look like, I do think it is a very if we look around on this side, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but the pot is very large for how much is actually in here. It's probably only filled like that much. There's a little bit of extra space they could have filled up, you know. We'll see. So we've got the whatever it is on top. You know what? I don't even know what this part, the red part, is even called. But then we've got the biscuit on the bottom. It definitely looks very crumbly, not wool, and not got jam or whatever that is all over my white shirt. That's fine. Anyway, as I was saying, what was I saying? The biscuit definitely does look very crumbly and not very like put together hard base, but this is what we're looking like inside. It kind of looks kind of scary, to be honest. There's like this weird white thing. Smell very strong though. Let's do a layer by layer test. A little bit of the red. Tastes like an ice lolly. You're gonna have a strawberry ice lolly. That's exactly what that tastes like. I'm gonna see if I can get some of the white just by itself. A little bit of the white. Got a tiny bit of red on, I just realised on the end. It's like a whipped cream consistency. Like it's very yeah, it's very whipped creamy. I'm going to go right into the bottom. I don't think I'm going to get any of the... I'm going to have all of it in one. I'm going to have to take another bite, I'm not sure. I don't love it. But, obviously, in these kind of times, you can't really be picky. So, they are good. They're good, but they're definitely not as some of what I've had before. It's definitely very runny. Like, the red part on the top is extremely runny. And because the white part is very moussey, you can't really just, like... You can't really feel it, if you know what I mean. Like, kind of just put it in your mouth and it just melts. The actual biscuits on the bottom are good and soft. They kind of taste like OE in a way, so I do wonder what kind of biscuit was used, because it definitely does. But no, so it says digestive biscuits, so... But they're not I wouldn't say they're my favourites. But for what it is pretty good, because it is like 3p, something like that per one. And I mean, it's pretty good for if you're going on a picnic or something. This would work quite nicely, because they're quite a nice size. But I am going to be honest, I don't really like it. But you can't be picky, you know? If my mum brought these home and that's what I had to pick because of times, like the times we are in, then I'm not exactly going to sit and complain and cry about it. But that is my very average view. That is my very average review of some of the snacks that they've got. Personally, I have grown up with this kind of food a lot in the house, so it was kind of interesting to see. I know obviously it's not a new range, and that has been out for quite a while, but since they've had the revamp and everything, everyone's kind of talking about it. Well, I would try some of it anyway, and we don't particularly shop at ASDA a lot anyway. Aldi and Lidl are the best ones, you know, for price anyway. But I thought we'd try some of these because I have grown up on a lot of cheaper foods, but it's actually pretty good for what it is. And I've heard a lot of the actual meals, like the meats and stuff like that, and like fruits and vegetables are actually really good for what they are. Like I think I've seen you can get a full like sack of potatoes for really cheap. I mean that's really useful. You can get all the meats really cheap as well. And like I think I've seen a lot of things on TikTok where you can get a full week's shop for less than £40, which is really good for like a whole family I'm talking about. But I am wondering, because obviously I start uni again next month and I do live near an ASDA, so maybe I could actually do my week shop as just me and see how much that would be just for one person. So if other people are obviously going to uni and stuff, how much would that be just for yourself? I feel like that maybe even be hitting the £20 mark for a whole week. But let me know what you think, and if you've tried any yourself or if this is what you usually buy anyway. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video.